Today was one of those days Yin's quirk decided to act upon its own. Nightmare. Yin's quirk allowed her to manipulate people in their sleep, either sending them to sleep or otherwise. Her quirk brings out their deepest fears and worries, making it all seem too real, like a brain hallucination. As she tossed and turned in her bed, vivid images of Todoroki and Momo played like a broken record. One she couldn't stop, one where she was trapped. The girl finally managed to escape her nightmare of a quirk and looked at her nearby clock. Reading the time she saw was only 8 p.m. And she still had some homework. She couldn't stop thinking about it, Momo and Todoroki at least, and that weird nightmare she was stuck in. She felt in her chest once more, only pain, hurt from what she was feeling. But in just a few seconds, she was having a coughing fit. She ran downstairs, quickly grabbing a cup from the Tupperware and filling it with some water, gurgling it as she hoped for sweet relief against her sore and dry throat. Taking a deep breath, she almost drowned herself in the water. She finally coughed something up. She sighed in relief, honestly thinking she might have coughed something up she ate that was messing with her airways. But it was the strangest thing ever. It was a flower petal. She picked it up between her two fingers and examined it, moving it around in her fingers, ignoring the small saliva on it, although it was pretty gross. She shook her head. How did I manage to eat a flower petal? She shrugged it off with a little laugh, not thinking too much of it. She washed her hands off and threw the petal away. Looking at the clock in the kitchen, she quickly went back up to her room to finish the rest of her homework before the next day. The next morning, Yin walked through the empty halls. Her energy seemed to be drained from her just a bit. It wasn't very noticeable, other than to her close friends like Katsuki, Todoroki, and Mina. Her hair was a slight mess with strands poking out here and there, and her skin-colored skin tone turning a bit paler. Her parents had mentioned seeing a doctor if her sickness was getting worse, and she agreed with them. The doorway slowly opened to the classroom, and she grumpily sat down in her seat, feeling irritated from the stares, but ignoring it from the students and teacher. Wait, teacher? Miss Lynn, you're late, Aizawa said to the poor sleepy girl with high, normal, natural expression. She sighed as she got out of her seat and bowed respectfully to her trainer and teacher. It won't happen again, sir. He hissed and continued on with the lesson. She had quickly sat back down, feeling embarrassment as everyone just stared, earning a few sympathetic glances from Katsuki and Todoroki. As the bell rang signaling lunch, this time Yin waited for the students to pile out of the classroom, not wanting to really get squished by the upcoming heroes. She waited till everyone left the classroom before picking up her things and swinging her bag over her shoulder. Walking out of the classroom, she didn't realize a certain blonde waiting for her by the door, accidentally bumping into his chest, and he glanced down at her. Towering over her by at least 8 inches, his eyes showed for a short moment before he spoke. Pay attention to where you're walking. Yin was revealed. It was just one of her close friends, Katsuki. Sorry about that. Her arm moved to the back of her neck, rubbing it slightly as she looked up at him with a small, nervous smile. I've been a bit distracted lately. She responded to him, and all he did was nod and hum. He turned around to continue walking to the cafeteria. Hurry up, I'm hungry. She giggled at her friend's words and jogged to catch up with him. Me too, she smiled. Katsuki smirked for at least 0.1 second before he caught himself. Is Todoroki joining us today? He said. He seemed to have noticed the lack in yin in his friendship. They were hardly hanging out as much. The girl only shrugged. She could only understand that it seemed her childhood best friend and crush was falling for another girl, and it hurt her. She would never admit that out loud, though. The thought made her eyes and chest burn, and feeling that burning sensation, she coughed once more, quickly brushing it off as they entered the cafeteria. Katsuki and Yin sat at their normal table, waiting for the pink, cute alien Mina to join, as well as Mr. Icy Hot. Soon, said pink girl arrived with a big smile, wrapping her arms around Yin. Yin! Oh, why are you so pale? She whisper-yelled. Putting a soft pink hand on Yin's flushed forehead, she then squished her face. You better not be getting sick on me, she said before she sat in her seat, pulling out her lunch and, as normal, snacks for the three of them. Yin could only smile at her friend's caring antics, easing her worries as she replied. I'm sure I'm fine. Just training was a bit rough. Mina nodded, and Katsuki dug through the snacks she laid out for the group and found some spicy candy, popping it into his mouth as his eyes scanned the room for their missing fourth member. Mina noticed this and started to do the same, both of their gazes landing on the boy sitting with Momo and her friends, Uchako and Sue. Yin was confused at what they were looking at and turned around to look as well. Only a soft scoff escaped her lips as she rolled her eyes. He's been acting so weird lately. He could have at least said something, she said, turning back around. Mina nodded in agreement. I don't think and Momo were so close, she said as she kept staring with her big eyes. Yin groaned, looking at the pink-haired girl. Not helping, she muttered, and Mina and Katsuki were all aware of her crush on the boy. Mina even tried helping set the two up on a date, but the boy was too oblivious. She angrily poked at her food. Not having an appetite anymore, she stole candy from the hot-headed Katsuki instead, tasting it for a second before spitting it up into a napkin. Ugh, gross! The table erupted into laughter, which caught Todoroki's attention, feeling guilty as he looked at his friends enjoying their time. But as he looked at Yin, he couldn't help but smile, seeing her smile as well. Sorry, Momo. I enjoyed this, but I think I'm going to spend the rest of my lunch with my friends. He swiftly got up, waving at the black-haired girl before sliding into his seat next to Yin. The table went quiet for a minute, waiting for the boy to speak. Tapping the skin-colored, skin-toned girl, he cleared his throat, feeling awkward, and said, What was that about our texts? He asked. He didn't know if he had upset her somehow. Yin looked at him confused. What's up with you lying about being busy? She snapped back. Katsuki and Mina looked at the two awkwardly as they went into confrontation. Todoroki looked at her with a small tilt to his head. I was busy, he said, not really telling the full truth. Yin glanced at him. Oh, so you were busy sucking up to Momo? In our spot? Seems pretty busy. She couldn't believe he was continuing with this stupid lie. She got up, grabbed her food, not wanting to speak to the boy anymore. He looked shocked as he got up to follow her. Yin, he shouted for her as she dumped her tray. Why are you so angry with me? He asked, grabbing her hand to stop her from walking away, his hand cold against her skin from his quirk. Because why make plans with me if you're just going to ignore me for someone else? She admitted, upset as she finally told the boy how she was feeling. I thought we were friends, she whispered as she felt her dry throat. She quickly ran to the bathroom, having an urge to throw up. And Todoroki looked at her worried as he followed the poor girl, waiting outside the bathroom. "Ian, are you okay?" Todoroki asked outside of the room.
Ooh, what could happen next? I wonder what, but I can't say anything because if I did, I feel like you guys would know the ending of the story and I don't want to give it away. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I do want to let you guys know, you remember Kingdom, the Bakugos? Well, I am writing a, not like sequel to it, but like, it hasn't been updated in like 3 years, guys. Please, I feel bad because I promised I was going to get it out as soon as possible, but I think the author of it, I don't know what happened to her, but she hasn't responded to anything. So if she does find my basically rewritten story of hers, but in my style and also with a whole different plot and yada yada, I will have to take it down because technically it was her original idea. But if she asks, I don't know. But the chapter 1 is almost finished. So yippee! You guys will hopefully get it this weekend because I want to make them long, like not really long, but like maybe like around 20 minutes. I don't know why. God, I keep on rambling. Holy shit. But I do want to say that I will be making it. Just wait. Oh, and that means all my other stories are going to be on hiatus because also there's a couple of other reasons because I can't think of anything to write for them. And yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you all so much. Bye. Mwah.